Anthony Hartwig here with a Girard Volleyball player profile. I am joined by Bailey Walters. Bailey, thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course.
You got it. And Bailey, one of the things this year that everyone's got to know about you is you transition into a setter position. And talking to Coach Walters before the season and his season preview, it was just a clear decision. Like you were the best option for that spot, and he put you there. You've set before for this team, and you get back to this position. What's it been like to transition back to a setter and to really help your hitters have someone that they're really comfortable with already to shine the best they can?
It's different. It brings me back to my freshman year when I was sitting at 6'2" with Allie Durkin. Obviously losing Allie meant that we didn't really have another setter coming up, so I fit the position best according to my coach, and I was ready to do whatever. Anywhere that I'm needed, I'll play. It doesn't really matter to me.
When you kind of got, that was probably a reality to you pretty quick. When you knew that Allie was graduating, it was probably in the back of your mind that you might have to set again this year. How did you kind of get yourself back in that mindset? I know you kind of were able to turn off the setting mindset a little bit as a libero, but now you kind of get back into that mindset of trying to read the hitters and trying to get your hitters in the right spots and everything. How did you kind of get back into that leadership mindset that you need to be as a setter?
I definitely got back into it during my club season. My club season, I got to set a 5-1 for my team. So it helped me get back into like the setting groove and being able to play front row and block. I'd never played front row before, so that was new for me. But having to learn how to block and transition, all that. But I think my club season definitely helped me the most because it got me back into the swing of things, being able to set again and like knowing where to go.
Now, we I saw you for the first time last night live as a new setter. You were able to get some blocks. What's it been like to develop yourself as a presence at the net and a part of that net defense of this team?
It's fun. I've always wanted to play front row, but it's just never been where I've been put. But it's a lot of fun getting a block. It feels so good. I never knew how it felt, but it feels amazing. Um, I just think it's really fun to be able to be at the net.
It's a whole new world for Bailey Walters.
It is.
I want to talk about the bond that you have with these teammates. Obviously, there's a lot of new faces on this team, some returning faces as well. What's it been like to see either players have their first year of varsity or step into bigger roles as varsity this year and kind of be in the same position you were in not too long ago?
It's been really fun. Nico's been hitting outside this year. She's been doing an amazing job. Um, Kind of feeling experience. She played right side last year, but being an outside, she's been doing an amazing job. Kira Bell is our libero. She's been doing amazing. Her hustle is amazing. And then Kylie, Molly, their defense amazing. Their serve receive amazing. They've been doing so good. And then Christina Oleski and Erica Teeter on the right side. They've been getting a lot of touches. They've been able to transition well. And then obviously Alexis Peaton, we've been able to run a lot with her. And Brooke Perry in the middle. She got long arms, great high touch. She's been getting a lot of touches as well. So I think we've been doing pretty good.
What kind of advice were you giving those players? Obviously, you can lean on your own experience of being someone that was kind of thrown into the varsity level. What kind of advice have you given to the players that are new to the varsity level themselves this year?
I just say I tell them to play their game. Don't think just because it's varsity it's so much bigger, better, whatever. Just play your game, focus on yourself, do the best you can do while supporting your team at the same time, and try not to overthink anything. Just play your game, do the best you can, play the best of your ability, and that's all that matters. And have fun, obviously.
What about coaching up Kira Bell a little bit in the libero position? Obviously, that's one that takes a lot of mental toughness to be back there as a libero. You get hit hard at. What kind of things have you done to help her grow as a libero?
Um, I've just told her how much her hustle is important. She goes for everything, and that's what I love to see. Being in the back row, going for everything, being able to read your hitters is such a big part of being libero. And she's been doing an amazing job at reading and diving for everything, going for everything, getting her hands on everything that's been hit at her. She's been doing an amazing job.
People that see your last name will obviously quickly understand that Coach Walters doubles as your coach and your dad. What's it been like to have that dynamic to not just have your coach there, but also have your father there and to be able to maybe take some volleyball home every now and then and have someone that you can always go to for advice if you're struggling with something?
It's nice to always have him there. Like I can always just go down. Like if I'm ever having a problem with how I'm playing, I can just ask him. Obviously it gets irritating at times because you see him every day. So when he tells you to do stuff, you might go in. But it's honestly overall really good because you get to hear like um, most of like how I've been playing or like the best results or how anything that he can tell me. I get like the most time with him. So honestly, I think it helps a lot with coaching.
You know, a lot of coaches that coach their son or daughter, they talk about how they want to balance the life of a coach and the life of a father and try to leave the coaching in the gym and bring the fathership to the home. I want you to grade your dad. Putting you on the spot, how good of a job does he do at balancing those two things and trying to leave one there and leave the other, at the other spot?
I honestly, he does pretty good. He likes, I mean, it's always the drive home after practice or games is what's the most. But once we get home, he's back into dad mode.
Mhm.
He tells me like, all the household stuff to do. But on the court, I mean, I think I say he does a pretty good job at leaving what's on the court on the court, except the drive home. The drive home is always like, oh,
Well,
I got this.
drive is an extension of the practice, right? Once you
Yeah.
pull in the drive, we're home, but we're not home yet, so I'm gonna let you hear it. What do you think are some things about Coach Walters that like you can tell us? Obviously, you know him better than anybody, even better, probably better than the players on your team. What are some things about him that we don't get to know because we only see him on the sidelines during games?
He's such an amazing coach. He's been coaching me basically my whole life. He does an amazing job at balancing, coaching and like understanding. He will always be so understanding of like if you feel a certain way or if you need help. And he can read his players, so he knows what you take in best coaching wise. So if you're the type of athlete that if you need to be like yelled at to put you in your place, he'll know that. Or if yelling like makes you die down a little bit, he'll understand like he has to talk to you calm and slowly. Or like say you need help, like if he tells you something on the court or off the court, whatever helps better. Like he can tell if he tells you something right then and there, you'll fix it. But if he tells you after, like you'll forget. He's really good at reading his athletes differently and like what helps them most is what I'd say.
Everyone needs to be coached differently. What kind of coaching do you like? What gets you fired up? What gets you into the right spot?
I feel like as long as I'm told what to do while it's happening, he can't come up to me after a game and say you did this wrong because I will completely forget. But if I mess up in the moment, he tells me, I'll fix it right then and there, and I'll think about it. Like, okay, I need to do this. It'll be in the back of my head. Um, and also, I need to be yelled at a little bit because if he says it like slowly, I'll be like, I can just push it off. When he yells at me, it's like, okay, I need to do this now. Like, I need to kick in. So I feel like that's what helps me most.
When you think about the thing that's special about volleyball players is you play one game and then you have a game the next day, so you really don't get the time in the gym to correct maybe some mistakes or some things you saw from the game before. How do you adjust those things? How do you see something? Okay, I wasn't doing this well last night. I have to make those adjustments, but we have a game today, so I have to really make those adjustments in warm-ups or just make them in the game that we are playing tonight.
I always just keep it in the back of my head. Like if I mess up once in a game, that mess up will be in the back of my head. I won't let it affect me, but I'll be thinking the entire time, like, okay, I need to be here, I need to be there. Or the entire like while the play's going on in the back of my head, I'll be saying it over and over again, like I need to cover here, I need to cover here, or I need to go here, like I need to push the ball here, push the ball here. I always keep it in the back of my head.
Volleyball is a grind. You guys play a lot of games in a small amount of time, which means you have to put so much time into it. You love it so much. What do you love so much about the sport of volleyball?
I love the team aspect. I love being able to just become so close with our team and have like be able to play with your friends on a court. I think is so much fun. The hype, the cheering, like getting excited, hyping everyone up, cheering everyone on, I think is so much fun. And obviously the student section makes it a lot of fun, all the cheering and all the like school hype that we get. But mostly I just like the team aspect. I love playing as a team. I love hyping everyone up, cheering everyone on, like seeing what everyone can do in their ability.
You segue into the next question perfectly because you got to ask about the student section that you guys get at Girard. It's very unique. Not a lot of volleyball teams get the student section that you do. What's it like to you and their teammates to know that not just the community, not just the parents, but the actual classmates that you go to school with have your back and show up for you guys in home games?
It feels really nice knowing that they actually care about like the sport of volleyball. Obviously with the senior class graduating, they're probably our biggest class. They would always support, but our seniors this year are definitely a loud group. They love coming. They love supporting every sport. They're really good cheers. It feels really nice to just know that like they like watching and they like paying attention and like understanding what's going on or trying to learn how a sport works at least. But it's a lot of fun.
Let me tell you, they have your back. When you broke the record for assists in a match, we had like 5 or 6 messages on social media making sure that we knew that happened and that we got it covered. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about breaking records and what that meant to you. Obviously, it was something that you didn't know at the time. Coach had to go out and watch the film personally and confirm that you broke the record. So when you found it out that yes, you're in the record books, your name's going to be penciled in there for hopefully years to come. What was that like for you?
It felt nice. It was really cool, especially being my first year coming back to setting. Like, I think it was really cool. And I'm glad that I did it with Bree. She obviously was one that made it happen. She had such an amazing game against East Liverpool. But I just felt really cool. Like, my first year back setting, I was able to set a record, a school record. And I mean, yeah, that's about it. I think it's really funny that I beat Haley Spall's. It was Haley Spall's record, which is our like assistant coach or freshman. But I think it's funny that I was able to overtake her because she came up to me after and she was like, or the next game, she was like, "Do you know whose record you beat that night?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do. I knew."
Yeah, I do.
Mhm.
Brie Littell had 37 kills in that game. I can't even imagine seeing someone go off like that as a setter, as someone that was putting the ball up for her. What was it like to see your hitter have a day like that where it seemed like everything she was swinging at was going down and there was no stopping her at all?
It was amazing. It got me so hyped up. I was so excited for her. I was cheering her on. Every point she got, I was jumping up, cheering, clapping, everything. I don't know, just hyped up the game so much. It made the energy so much higher. Her playing well made everyone else like excited and happy and loud. It was really cool though. I'm really glad I was able to set that.
That was probably not on your radar as a tangible personal goal this year. You probably weren't thinking about breaking the assist record. Maybe you were. Maybe you looked at that number and said, "That's breakable. I can do that." But what were some other personal goals that you set for yourself coming into this year as a new setter, as someone that wanted to make an impact on this team?
Coming into this year, honestly, I just want to be able to be more consistent with my sets and be able to understand like each of my players or each of my teammates, like where they like the ball. Some like them higher, lower, faster, slower. I feel like that's something I need to work on. And then my biggest personal goal is probably 1,000 assists for this season. It's gonna be hard to reach, but with my freshman year, I think I had 420, and then last year I had like 60 something. So and last year Ali Durkin setting a 5-1 was able to get like 800 assists. So I feel like it's definitely doable, but that's probably up there for my goals.
I mean, dang it, you already broke a record for most of the match. So
Yeah.
you do stuff like that consistently, you'll break it no problem.
Mhm.
Um, I know you miss being a libero. I know you miss being back there. So when you're in the back row and you have the chance to get back to those defensive routes, what's or defensive routes, I should say. What's that like for you to still focus on defense and still take pride and to be able to go on the ground and get that big dig for your team?
It feels nice. It brings me back to being libero. It'll always be my favorite position. I always love being in the back row. As much fun as the front row is, I love being a back row player. I love being able to read hitters and dig up what I can. But I mean, it's fine. Front row is fine, but I will always love being able to dig balls, play back row, and whenever I get a good dig, like it just brings me back to being able to be libero.
So you've experienced a block now. You've gotten better as a blocker. You're obviously getting a lot of assists. You dig well. What is the best feeling in volleyball for you? Which one is the one that gives you the most juice?
One that gives me, I definitely say setting up Bree or Nico for a big kill, especially when the game's close. It feels amazing. Being able to see them go up and kill it off of my set, it just feels so good, and I love hyping them up afterwards. I think it's a lot of fun. Setter dumps are fun too, but
Well,
definitely,
yeah.
definitely,
When you can get that kill category, put in that perfect corner like you did a couple of times a night ago. Yeah, that's got to feel pretty good too.
yeah, it does, it does.
When you think about everything this team is capable of and the conversations that are had between games and some of the things that this team talks about what they can do this year, what do you think are some tangible team goals? We talked about personal goals. What are some things that this team has that you think they can do before the season's over?
I feel like honestly, we've been doing really well. I feel like communication is key. Being able to pick each other up is key. Um, and understanding, like, I don't know, where to go in our positions. We've been doing a really good job, but I feel like overall, just working as a team, I feel like we can go really far if we just play the best of our abilities all together and continue to stay positive with each other. Because I feel like we're all athletes that, like, if you're positive, everyone's gonna be like happy and play well on the court. But if anyone's negative, like, it kind of brings the energy down. But I feel like as long as we are staying positive and hyping each other up, getting excited, we're gonna go really far in this season.
All right, Bailey, before we let you go, I want to give you the chance to kind of shout out your support system and the people that are in your corner and anyone that's in your life that you think deserves a shout out on this interview. I'm going to give you the time to do that.
Definitely Brie Littell. We've been playing together since we were 11, 12 years old, playing on a club team. She's been doing such an amazing job this season in every aspect of the game. Serve, receive, passing, hitting, obviously. Nico stepped up a lot this season, going from right side to outside. She's been doing an amazing job with all the pressure she's had to take in. Our underclassmen, Brooke and Kira, they've been doing a great job of stepping up into the varsity level. They've been doing a really good job on their part and playing the position they need to. Alexis Peaton, also coming up to varsity, has been doing an amazing job blocking and hitting and being a great team player overall. And then our other seniors, Erica, Christina, Molly, Kylie, have all been doing a great job stepping up and playing as a team. They've been doing a really good job in their position, and I'm honestly really proud of how we're doing.
All right, Bailey, we thank you so much for your time. We wish you the best of luck, and we will see you again real, real soon.
Of course, thank you.